let's go back to Tesla again.
Mhm.
I think with regard to keeping our teenagers under control when they're using our car.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that one.
So it seems like safety has been highlighted, and Elon, retweeted a story that was 2 years old where they talked about how the active safety in a Tesla was the best in the world. But more recently, the software update in a Tesla is you're able to do parental controls on your Tesla now. So like safety is becoming more and more of a reason why people should consider getting a Tesla. So you can limit how quickly the car can go as far as the top speed. You can limit that for parental controls in the app. You can limit the acceleration to chill. You can have it report to you if there's a curfew violation, like after 11 p.m. One of the things that I like, especially about this parental control, is you can force the active safety to be on. So,
Oh,
like the various ways the cars help you stay in your lane and, beeps at you, drifts out of the lane, or does the automatic emergency braking. You can force those features to be on.
that's
So
good.
a lot of safety for your kids. I think safety is a great reason why people should consider getting a Tesla.
Absolutely. I was driving a Volvo for the last many years, and it was a 300 horsepower, it was a very fast car. But I would tell my sons, I would say, look, however fast you want to get from 0 to 60, I don't care. It's the rest
Mhm.
of it I care about. But if you want to have some fun going 0 to 60 really fast, that's perfectly okay with me. So I guess I turn off the chill feature on the Tesla.
Mhm.
All right. So we also had some news out of Sunday that you were mentioning. I know we've talked a little bit about the interview that took place on Sunday, but was there particular things that you saw that you thought were worth bringing up?
Elon just seemed very confident and relaxed. He gave some updates about Starship. It sounds like Starship 7 especially is going to move things away. They'll solve some things around like the heat shield and all that. So it'll be interesting on that. But also, Elon was just very focused about autonomy and humanoid bot. And he had some funny things to say around autonomy where he compared like your car being able to drive itself as like a cat that can sing and dance. It looks like a normal cat, like your Tesla looks like a normal car,
Right,
but it can drive itself
right, right.
anywhere in the country. Uh,
Anytime.
can do a great job getting you from a driveway to a place of business. And there's no other car that can do that, but it looks like any other car in a
Right,
way.
right.
So yeah, he seemed very confident about it, and he's been posting on X about in early August, maybe in as little as 7 days, that they'll push out an update to include hardware 3 cars in 12.5. There's a lot of fear that because they started with hardware 4 cars and excluded hardware 3 cars for 12.5, that somehow the hardware 3 cars weren't capable. And Elon is extremely confident that they'll be capable. And yeah, I'm curious to see how far hardware 3 cars can go, but I don't think they're close to their limit yet. Elon said in the earnings call that all or nearly all Teslas will be on the robotaxi network or be capable of it. Maybe they'll exclude ones that don't have the cabin camera, who knows, or maybe it's a certain level of hardware. But like I think even like they call it MCU1 cars have like 12.3.6, and that's like the very first computers they had in the Model S's, which
Hmm.
is pretty shocking. So yeah, I think that's what people are going to be focusing on moving forward. We also had a video about Tesla Energy, about these unsatisfied performance obligations.
POs or something? Yeah.
And we're continuing to look into the issue and we're asking Tesla IR to clarify for us. We've heard back from some high level accountants and auditors, and they believe that we're on the correct path. And
Oh, good.
so basically, what these UPOs are is it's this thing that Tesla had to disclose in their quarterly 10Q that said, we have this revenue that's coming if we satisfy these obligations with the mega pack. And essentially, it's like the mega pack gets on site and then it doesn't immediately get connected to the grid or energized. And so they're not able to test like if it works. But then once the final grid connection goes through and it gets connected and energized and they test it, then they can run all these tests and see how good it is. The major question is this an asset? Is it a high margin asset where they've already recognized a lot of the cost for the mega pack and then the rest is just gravy and drops right to the bottom line?
Right.
Or is this an asset where the cost kind of gets pro rata done with the incoming revenue so
Mhm.
that maybe the gross margin's lower
Okay.
on this or like around 25%?
Right.
Or there's a chance it's not really an asset. We're just reading it wrong. But pretty high level auditors have reached out to us and said they agree with us. So we'll see what Tesla IR has to say, and I'm curious what other people think.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense to me. I am not a CPA, not even close. But been running companies for a very, very long time and had to deal with all kinds of accounting issues, including subscriptions and things of
Mhm.
that nature, which are dealt with in a very different way, where you're getting the revenue immediately, and yet you have an obligation to pay off if the thing goes wrong downstream. So I've been through a lot of this myself, and I think it seems like you're on track, but it's partially dependent on what Tesla's own internal CPA decided to do. 100% what the rules are is partially how did Tesla interpret the rules. So that's good that we're asking IR for an update on that.
And generally, with the areas where Tesla has a choice that could be more conservative or more aggressive, we've seen Tesla be more conservative on the accounting side. So the more conservative path with respect to Megapack would be to recognize more cost up front,
Mhm.
and then you would have like a higher profit later where there'd be less costs associated with it. So it's more aggressive to assume more cost up front. That's just generally true in accounting. It's just there's a potential that this has higher margin just because it's mainly a software feature. It's a feature that's already built into the mega packs. They're not really having to do more or make more. And the whole reason Randy and I are talking about this is it's a lot of money.
A lot of
This
money.
this area in total increased by $1.8 billion over the last quarter. And over the next 4 quarters, the current portion that Tesla expects to achieve or recognize is 2.6 billion. So that's a pretty
Oh,
nice
money.
added amount of money. And we're curious, how much gets added next quarter, how much gets recognized next quarter. We'll see what happens.
We have so many of these little hidden treasures. We have FSD money that will come in once it's
Mhm.
a feature complete. There's a whole stack of money that's sitting there that Tesla will be able to recognize that's just sitting on the books, already been received. So it's not going to affect cash flow, but it affects revenue and profit. We've got another stack of money that's hidden in the regulatory credits.
Yes, the
Tesla owns
5
$5 billion.
long-term contracts to sell
Right.
the EV credits.
Right.
That's it.
A lot of money. So anyways, so you start putting those three together, and you've got more money coming in from the hidden resources than you do from the sale of hardware. So it's kind of fun.